Imagine spending 200 years building the greatest empire the galaxy has ever seen, uniting humanity under one golden banner, only to have your favourite son, your absolute best boy, stab you in the back, burn half the galaxy, and throw the mother of all temper tantrums because he felt underappreciated. Welcome to the Horus Heresy, folks, the Warhammer 40k event that makes Game of Thrones look like a peaceful family dinner. Buckle up, because we're covering 10,000 years of daddy issues, cosmic betrayal, and the worst case of workplace conflict in galactic history, all in just 10 minutes. So let's set the stage. It's the 30th millennium and humanity had a rough time. Think post-apocalyptic nightmare meets space horror. Enter the Emperor of Mankind. And yes, that's his actual title, because humility is for mortals. This guy is basically if Alexander the Great, Einstein, and your strict but loving father had a baby made of pure gold and psychic power. The Emperor had a plan, the Great Crusade. Unite all of humanity scattered across the galaxy, bring them into a glorious Imperium, and kick every alien species back to whatever horrible corner of space they came from. To help with this truly massive to-do list, he created the Primarchs, 20 genetically engineered supersons, each designed to be the perfect general, warrior, and leader. But here's where things get spicy. The Chaos Gods, basically evil interdimensional deities who feed on negative emotions, looked at these perfect golden boys and said, absolutely not. They yeeted the infant Primarchs across the galaxy like the universe's worst game of baby hot potato. The Emperor spent the next few decades on the galaxy's most stressful scavenger hunt, finding his sons who'd been raised on different worlds with wildly different cultures. Some turned out great, others, well, we're getting to that. Now let's talk about Horus. Horus Lupercal was the guy. The first Primarch the Emperor found, the War Master, the beloved favourite son who could do no wrong. If the Primarchs were a high school class, Horus was the quarterback, valedictorian, and prom king all rolled into one genetically perfect package. He had the respect of his brothers, the love of his legion, and daddy's full trust. So what went wrong? Well, picture this. You're Horus. You've been crushing this whole galactic conquest thing for 200 years, and suddenly Dad decides to go back to Earth for some mysterious secret project he won't tell you about. He leaves you in charge of everything, but doesn't explain why he's leaving. You're feeling abandoned, unappreciated, and frankly, a bit used. Then you get wounded on a planet called Davin. While you're dying and vulnerable, your advisor, who's secretly been corrupted by chaos, performs a healing ritual that's definitely not covered by the Imperium's health insurance plan. During this ritual, Horus gets a vision showing him a future where the Emperor is worshipped as a god and the Primarchs are forgotten. Was this vision true? Partly. Was it manipulated by cosmic evil entities? Absolutely. Did Horus care about the nuance? Not even a little bit. Horus wakes up and decides that patricide is the solution. And when a demigod decides to commit family violence, he doesn't do it halfway. Here's where the heresy part kicks in. Horus didn't just go rogue, he convinced half his brothers to join him. We're talking 9 whole legions of super soldiers, each consisting of thousands of genetically enhanced warriors who could punch through tank armour. The traitor legions included some real winners. The Word Bearers, who were already secret chaos worshippers and were absolutely thrilled someone finally agreed with them. The World Eaters, whose solution to every problem involved chain axes and screaming. The Emperor's Children, who took perfectionism to such extremes they ended up worshipping the chaos god of excess. And the Death Guard, who decided pestilence and plague were actually pretty cool actually. Meanwhile, the Loyalist legions were like, wait, what? Our brothers are doing what now? The galaxy split right down the middle. Brothers who'd fought side by side for centuries were suddenly killing each other. It was a civil war that made every other civil war look like a minor disagreement. The conflict lasted 7 years. 7 years of the most brutal, horrific warfare imaginable. Entire worlds were burned to cinders. Billions died. Ancient weapons from the dark age of technology that should have stayed locked away got dusted off. Demons, literal demons from hellspace, started pouring into reality because chaos was having the time of their immortal lives. The war tactics ranged from conventional fleet battles to biological warfare, orbital bombardment, psychic duels, and occasionally just dropping an entire fortress monastery on your enemy's head. The traitor legions weren't just fighting to win, they were being corrupted by chaos, turning into literal monsters. We're talking mutations, possession, and transformations that would make Lovecraft need therapy. Everything came to a head at Terra, Earth itself, humanity's birthplace. Horus brought his entire fleet to the Emperor's doorstep, in what might be the boldest home invasion in history. The Siege of Terra was the final, desperate battle. The Imperial Palace, a fortress that made every other fortress look like a garden shed, was under assault by traitor space marines, demons, and corrupted war machines. The defenders were massively outnumbered, but fighting for literally everything: their home, their species, their future. The fighting was so intense that entire sections of the palace were reduced to rubble. The bodies piled so high they formed new terrain. The blood flowed in rivers. It was metal as hell, but also absolutely horrifying. Then came the moment that changed everything. Horus lowered the shields on his flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. Why? Some say he wanted the Emperor to come face him. Others think Chaos was so confident in Horus's corruption that they wanted to humiliate the Emperor in person. Either way, Big E teleported aboard with his golden banana boys, the Custodians, and two of his loyal sons, Rogel Dawn and Sanguinius. Sanguinius, the absolutely fabulous angel-winged Primarch, reached Horus first. These two had been best friends, brothers in the truest sense. Sanguinius begged Horus to stop, to come back. Horus, now completely consumed by chaos and pumped full of dark god juice, killed him. Just straight up murdered the most beloved Primarch in the Imperium. Then the Emperor arrived and found his favourite son standing over his other son's corpse. The Emperor still held back, hoping to redeem Horus. But when Horus killed Alanius' person right in front of him, the Emperor realised there was no saving his boy. He unleashed his full psychic might and obliterated Horus's soul so completely that even chaos couldn't bring him back. But the Emperor didn't walk away unscathed. Horus had mortally wounded him. The master of mankind, the guy who'd conquered the galaxy, was dying. Here's the kicker. Nobody won the Horus Heresy. Sure, the Imperium survived, but at what cost? The Emperor had to be interred in the Golden Throne, a life support device that keeps him barely alive, but completely unable to communicate or lead. He's been sitting there for 10,000 years, sustained by the sacrifice of 1,000 psychic souls every single day. The Imperium worships him as a god, the exact thing he fought against, and has become a totalitarian, xenophobic nightmare of bureaucracy and zealotry. The traitor legions fled to the Eye of Terror, a literal tear in reality, where they've been planning their revenge ever since. They occasionally pop out for Black Crusades, galaxy-wide murder sprees, just to remind everyone they're still angry. The Loyalist legions were broken up into smaller chapters to prevent any one leader from having Horus-level power again. Trust issues much? Half the Primarchs are dead, missing, or turned into demon princes. The Imperium is in a constant state of total war against Xenos, heretics, and demons. The Horus Heresy transformed the Imperium from a bright, hopeful vision of united humanity into the grim-dark nightmare that is Warhammer 40,000. It's literally the reason everything in the current setting is so unrelentingly terrible. Every problem, every war, every catastrophe, you can trace it back to when Horus decided to throw the galaxy's worst rebellion. So there you have it, the Horus Heresy in 10 minutes. A tale of betrayal, cosmic manipulation, and the worst family feud in galactic history. It's got everything: space marines, demons, golden warriors, tragic heroes, irredeemable villains, and enough daddy issues to keep therapists employed for millennia. If you enjoyed this dive into Warhammer's most pivotal event, smash that like button harder than the Emperor smashed Horus's soul. Subscribe for more lore breakdowns, where we make the grimdark actually fun. And drop a comment telling me which Primarch you think had the best reason to turn traitor, or which one should have rebelled but stayed loyal. The Emperor protects, but your engagement protects this channel. See you in the next one.